thoughts on that then, first and foremost?
A bit like the pre-match interviews, really. I just think I think it's just a reflection of our week. Our week's been really good. It's been relatively normal, and we've been able to concentrate on prepping in our detail and making sure, that the facets of our game are up to scratch and that our standards are at the level that we expect them to be at. And I think that the consistency of the week, transferred into the performance, and the performance was good. So whilst it's about winning this game, and winning and losing is important, to us the performance was the main thing, and the performance obviously translated into a victory. So I'm really pleased for everybody, to be honest, and when I say everybody, the whole club, and the whole club to me is supporters, his staff, backroom, and his players as well. So it's just really rewarding, but obviously good to get some normality in the week, and that's what it ended up with.
And the fans as well, to be able to 22-0, seem to really enjoy that.
Yeah, they did, and we appreciate it, So I think they appreciate what we're doing, and I think they appreciated that there's a little bit of our DNA in there. You could see that we looked like a team that was connected, not that just turned up and pick a shirt up and play in that position, just to get it on the field. I thought we looked connected in the middles. Certainly the starting pack worked tremendously well together, and then I think the outside backs, really showed some of our DNA and that detail what we're speaking about, and the work that we did in the week then showed itself on the field, and that was appreciated by our fans. That's what they've become accustomed to seeing, a team that preps hard and it reflects at the weekend. So just delighted for everybody, and I thought our spine was particularly good in Jayden and Chris Atkin in particular. Shoz did an awful amount of work at hooker, and Ryan Brealey was very poorly before game. So again, it's another reflection of the characters that we've got in our club. He's a better man than me. I'm not sure I'd have been able to play as poorly as he was.
And good night for a couple of Huddersfield All boys as well, Hilly and Eason Marston.
Yeah.
In that first 20 minutes, especially those first two tries.
Yeah. And I just thought both of them two players were again, that word consistency. But they're good players, and good players are consistent players. Them two words are often aligned, when you talk about good players and good pros. And I thought Chris Hill really, he's really got hold of the pack, and they're working together, little combinations and picking his moments well. And he's just been tireless for us, in particular these last 2 weeks, and today as well. And same with Eason, provided quality. His first try there was fantastic. Just beating players, and I think probably that try was probably the benchmark for the game in terms of the blueprint. Just back yourself to run, and we saw that a lot with Chris Atkin and Jayden Nikarima, who just backed themselves to run, as Eason did on that occurrence, and got the try.
It must be impressive how Jayden stepped up. Obviously, you've lost one senior halfback, but he sort of really played that senior halfback role very well, didn't he?
Oh yeah, it was great, and like I say, just bats him. He's quick. He's remarkably quick, and so the best attribute for quick people is to back yourself to run. So maybe a lot of it sometimes is confidence with quick people. They don't think they realise how difficult they are to handle, and he's definitely caused a few problems for the Huddersfield defence tonight, and I thought he was outstanding.
Is that what you want from him in the weeks to come, to take on that role of senior halfback?
Chris Atkin's a senior player as well, and whilst you speak about other halves with certain attributes, I think Chris has been kind of quite achiever at this club for a long time now, and he built his game on defence, and I thought both of them complemented one another very, very well, so they can share that workload, and I'll throw a little bit over at Ryan Brealey as well. I think he's been fantastic last week and this week, and I think between them they've took on that extra burden, if you like, and they've worked well together. So I don't think it'd be at this minute I would want anyone to take on that, you know, that lead role. I think it's, you know, much better if they can share that well, I said burden but privilege, and you know, it seems to be working all right at the minute.
Just to check on Chris, he went off for an HIA, didn't he? Did Chris Hill go off for an HIA?
Chris Hill did, he's fine. I think we had 3. I think RV failed and Dion passed. So yeah.
I saw Dion going mad because he couldn't come back on, could he?
Well, he couldn't come back on till the 15-minute mark. So and I think it was about 2.5 minutes to go. So we just sat him down at that point.
Harvey Wilson's a good little player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been great. So you know, I think last year he got a small amount of rugby with us, and then he had a really bad hamstring in the Wigan game back end of last season. But again, we've thrown him in the mix after a long recovery. He's come in with some big minutes this season. Got some exposure. I think it was the OKR game. It was only short, but his last 2 games in particular, like I said, the starting 3 middles have been working brilliantly together, and he's been a big part of that. So he'll be missed at the next game because of the head injury, obviously.
Just how good have the group been day to day behind the scenes during the? We all know how difficult it's been. Just how good have they been in terms of dealing with everything that's been thrown at them? Not even the last couple of weeks, I suppose, but the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I guess they've been great, to be honest. There's obviously so much noise around them, so they've just been good pros. I think the easiest way to put it, Matt, is they've been good pros. They've done the job. They've been consistent in their actions. You know, you can't control distractions because distractions are real. They are a thing, and they take your focus away from the job at hand. But they've tried their utmost best to stay on task, stay focused, and they've caused no issues, problems, and they've just been fantastic professionals, and it's been a credit to everybody.
Have you any idea what the next week looks like?
I'm hoping it's similar to this week, so just rugby, and you know that'll do for me.
I think your CEO said on the radio tonight, Paul, that Timmy Laffey's going home.
Yeah.
Are you? Obviously, you'll be aware of that. Are you braced for that? And I assume Tim's leaving in the coming days. Is that right?
Yeah. So kind of knew that for a little bit now. His family's back home, so I think at the back end of last year, I knew that was the plan for his family to stay at home, and I knew that wouldn't end well in that situation. So he goes with our best wishes, and we thank him. He's been good for us, we've been good for him, and I hope he finds happiness back in the sun in Australia. In terms of on the field, well, you know, we've got Nanny McDonald, we've got Ethan Masters in there, so, and Chris Hankinson as well. So we're all right, but Tim's a quality player, so he's a miss to any side.
You were just talking about Chris Atkin. I think it was his 100th Super League game for Salford tonight. I would imagine not many players probably get to that milestone. He's the kind of player that if you had 17 Chris Atkins, you'd probably be all right. He fills in anywhere, he'll do a job for you no matter what and play big minutes.
Yeah, he's been very good. In my tenure, he's been very good for me. You know, and like you said, sometimes if he's on the bench, you know, I give him nothing. I'll just say as and when, and I don't know what position, and he'll go, yeah. So he's learned. He's well rehearsed in 3 or 4 different positions and ready to go at any point. So again, he's a good pro, and that's what we've got, a team of good pros.
You mentioned it before, and he was in the stand tonight in the club suit. Will Nanny McDonald feature for? Because there's been a lot of talk around Nene's future.
Yeah.
Is he going to go? Is he going to stay? Is whatever. I mean, does the fact he was here in the club suit sort of indicate he's more likely to stay than go?
Yeah, he's trained all week, so he's just cap space. So yeah.
How do you get him back in?
Fulfil our obligations and have our cap raised, or take 2 of the higher paid players out and replace him with Nene if we had, God knows, Matt, who knows.
Just with Tim, I know you say there that you thought it'd end badly in terms of
It's not ended badly.
but in terms of going back home,
Yeah.
that situation. Is it purely down to the current situation with the finances, or obviously that's not going to...
Well, the noise has probably contributed to a feeling of being unsettled. So, and if you've got players who can't play because the cap space, then it's going to contribute to that feeling of frustration for them. And it's probably, maybe it's accelerated the decision, but there was some chat around that prior to all of this noise. So, yeah, but to be clear, it's definitely not ended badly at all. He'll leave on good terms, and again he's been here at the game, and he was at the last game, and he'll share a beer with the lads tonight, no problem at all.
In terms of your team selection, obviously what was named on the team sheet didn't really translate on the field. Was that a pre-planned thing from you to sort of throw Huddersfield?
I didn't see the team sheet. What was it?
Nathan Connor was named at full back and he played wing, didn't he? So.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, it's hardly like... I think you could work it out after about 10 seconds, so I'm not too worried about that. But, when you've got players in... And somebody like Nathan, who's a young player, then we take a little bit of pressure off him, and if it takes people 10 minutes to work that out, then, job done.
Just one quick one, you may know this. Has Hilly always had an offload in him?
Chris Hill?
Yeah.
He's got fantastic offload in him. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Did he show it at Lee?
He did show it at Lee. Yeah, I think. Do you not remember the game on Sky once with a backhanded pass? Oh, he's got some skills, Chris. He's a good footballer. He's a good player. You don't play the amount of games that he's played at such a high level without having the full box of tricks. And he's still kept his good looks, so he must have a few attributes.